Stoicism, a philosophical school that emerged in Athens in the early 3rd century BC, teaches us to live a life of virtue by focusing on the control of our emotions and action. Founded by Zeno of Citium and popularized by philosophers such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, this philosophy emphasizes the importance of living in harmony with nature and using reason to overcome passion. One of the most valuable practices in Stoicism is the use of silence. The Stoics believed that silence could be a powerful form of expression of wisdom and control. Let's delve deeply into 7 specific situations in which, according to the Stoics, we should choose silence. In today's video, we will discuss 7 situations where we should remain silent according to Stoic teachings. I invite you to stay until the end so we can learn more about silence. Are you ready to learn more about this virtue? When you are angry, anger is an emotion that can cloud judgment and lead to impulsive actions. Seneca, in his essay on anger, argues that anger is a passion to be avoided at all costs because it is destructive and contrary to reason. He writes, "Anger, once lodged, will not allow reason to prevail, for reason cannot overcome passions it did not create." Anger can be compared to a storm, swift and fierce, that obscures our vision and pulls us away from rational clarity. Epictetus, in his discourses, also addresses the issue of anger, suggesting that we should view our emotions as choices rather than inevitabilities. He says it is not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of those things. Therefore, in moments of anger, silence gives us the opportunity to pause and reconsider our reactions. It is a chance to allow reason to regain control over our actions. Imagine a practical example. You are in traffic and someone cuts you off. The immediate response might be to shout or honk, but a Stoic would recommend silence. This moment of pause allows you to consider the situation more rationally, remembering that an impulsive reaction will not change what happened and may even worsen your mood or the situation. When we do not know the subject. Speaking about what we do not know is one of the greatest risks to intellectual integrity. Seneca stated, "The first sign of a well-ordered mind is the ability to stop and not speak if one has nothing meaningful to say." Wisdom lies in recognizing our own limits and choosing silence instead of risking speaking incorrectly or ignorantly. Acknowledging one's own ignorance is, in itself, a mark of wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us of the importance of self-knowledge and accepting our own ignorance. "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I will gladly change, for I seek the truth which has never harmed anyone." What harms us is to persist in our own self-deception and ignorance. This implies that we should always be open to learning and correction, rather than trying to maintain a facade of knowledge. Instead of speaking without knowledge, silence allows us to listen and learn. A common example could be a discussion about a complex scientific topic in a conversation with friends. If you do not have a deep understanding of the subject, it is more prudent to listen and learn from those who know more. This not only avoids spreading incorrect information, but also demonstrates humility and a willingness to learn, traits valued by the Stoic. When someone else is speaking, respecting others when they speak is a demonstration of humility and respect. Epictetus, in his discourses, emphasizes the importance of active listening. Nature gave us 1 tongue and 2 ears so that we could listen more and talk less. The act of attentive listening is essential for understanding and for developing deeper and more meaningful relationships. When we listen attentively, we are not merely absorbing information, but also showing respect for the speaker. In this context, silence is not passive, but an active act of engagement. It allows us to truly absorb what is being said, reflect on it, respond thoughtfully. Moreover, attentive listening fosters empathy, virtue greatly valued by the Stoic. Imagine being in a work meeting where a colleague is presenting an idea. Instead of interrupting or preparing your response while the other person is speaking, the Stoics would recommend that you listen fully. This act of active listening can improve team dynamics and promote a more collaborative and respectful work environment. When you cannot improve on silence, there are times when anything we might say would only add noise rather than value. Marcus Aurelius advises, "Be silent or let your words be worth more than silent." This practice requires constant self-assessment and careful judgment about the necessity and impact of our words. The ability to discern when our words are truly necessary and helpful is a sign of wisdom and maturity. If the contribution we intend to make does not bring clarity, comfort, or understanding, then it is better to remain silent. This Stoic approach can be particularly useful in heated discussions and debates, where the tendency is to speak impulsively. By choosing silence, we can avoid misunderstandings and unnecessary conflict. An example might be a conversation where tension is high, such as a family discussion on a sensitive topic. If your words will not contribute positively or bring a useful new perspective, it is better to opt for silence. This not only prevents the escalation of conflict but also demonstrates a level of self-control and respect for the emotions of others. When words can hurt, the Stoics recognize the power of words to cause pain and conflict. Epictetus advises, do not criticize, do not blame, do not judge. When faced with the temptation to use words that might hurt or inflame a situation, silence is a wise choice. Words have the power to heal or harm, and choosing to use them wisely is essential for a virtuous life. Seneca also emphasized the importance of being careful with words. The tongue has no bones, but it is strong enough to break a heart. Therefore, be careful with your words. Choosing silence in moments of potential conflict or when feeling the impulse to speak harmfully is an expression of self-control and consideration for others. Classic example is during a heated argument with a partner or friend. Instead of hurling harsh words in the heat of the moment, which can cause lasting damage, opting for silence allows both sides to cool down and approach the situation more rationally and constructively later. This control over speech prevents regrets and maintains healthy relationships. When it's better to reflect, reflection is a central element of Stoic practice. Marcus Aurelius often engaged in deep introspection, as evidenced in his meditations. He advises, withdraw into yourself, especially when you need rest. Silence gives us space to reflect on our thoughts, actions, and purpose. This inner retreat allows us to review our principles and adjust our behavior according to virtue. In a world often noisy and chaotic, finding moments of silence for contemplation and meditation is crucial for maintaining inner peace and practical wisdom. An example could be a personal crisis, such as the loss of a loved one or a major life change. Instead of immediately jumping into actions or discussions, the Stoics would recommend a period of silence to reflect, process, and find internal clarity. This contemplative silence can provide profound insights and a clearer understanding of the path forward. When it's necessary to respect privacy. Respecting the privacy and personal experiences of others is a Stoic virtue. We don't always need to share everything we know or think. Epictetus said, if someone speaks ill of you, do not defend yourself against the story, but instead say, he must be ignorant of many other facts, for he mentions only these. In this case, silence can protect dignity and privacy, preventing the spread of unnecessary or harmful information. Respecting others' silence and choosing not to disclose personal details without permission is an expression of respect and consideration. In a world where personal information can be easily shared and misused, practicing silence as a form of respect for others' privacy is a crucial virtue. Imagine a situation where a friend confides sensitive information in you. Even if you feel the urge to discuss it with others, a Stoic would recommend silence. Protecting your friend's trust and privacy demonstrates integrity and loyalty, fundamental virtues in Stoicism. In Stoicism, silence is not merely the absence of sound, but an active practice of self-control, wisdom, and consideration for others. Stoics teach us that silence can be more powerful than words, offering an opportunity for reflection. If you've enjoyed these teachings, I invite you to subscribe and share this video with others. Let's spread the understanding of the power of silence together.